And not to mention the mistakes Jasmine made because of her ignorance of the language. That made communication challenging. There was that one time about a month ago that Twyla approached Jasmine with a bill and said, Uvi say we take too much douching. Jasmine remembered immediately thinking, that freak Uwe. He's hitting a camera somewhere in my bathroom, and ain't no telling where else. Or else, how would he know if I took a douche or not? And what does he care what I do with my pussy anyway? She voiced most of these thoughts to a surprised Twyla, but then Jasmine thought about it for a moment. She asked Twyla to demonstrate what a douche was. Twyla pantomimed someone taking a shower. She realized that in Deutsch, douche wasn't dush. It was douche, which means shower. Twyla didn't understand what Jasmine found so funny. Even when Jasmine tried to explain it, she didn't get it. Jasmine knew eventually she would have to learn Deutsch, but it wasn't exactly the most romantic sounding language in the world. Some of the words sounded like you were clearing your throat, trying to get all the phlegm deep within your chest cavity. Twyla was quite the hostess and loved to give impromptu but always catered dinner parties. Twyla always invited her basic four buddies and one or two of the who's who, depending on who was in town. At Twyla's most recent dinner party at the apartment, in celebration of a happy day, as Twyla announced, the most peculiar thing happened. First to arrive was Thomas Mueller, the actor and old friend of Twyla's. If you can have an old friend at 23 years of age, Thomas was pronounced Thomas. Then came Joni, Jack J. Jockey. Then came Joni, Johnny, the closet transvestite who was shadowed by his partner, John, pronounced Jan. Joni seemed to display an immediate dislike for Jasmine. She was obvious with it, turning up her broad nose and smirking her orange lips whenever Jasmine made a comment, or if she even laughed along with everyone else at a joke, doing a splendid job of acting like a little bitch. Then there was Lisa Cartrell, the model turned actress, turned wife to a rock star, turned widow to the rock star, turned to one of the richest women in Germany, Lisa. Yeah. Jasmine suspected was a closet coke addict. Closet meaning she only snorted around others who either were or would be snorting. But Lisa had a quick wit, was the notorious for her bizarre behavior, and was a sought after quest for the German TV talk shows. Lisa's face appeared in international fashion and gossip magazines. This particular evening, she brought with her current man, Sasha, the mysteriously wealthy Russian German who was rumored to have ties with the Russian mafia. This group of characters, most often joined by two or three other rich and famous drop-bys, would make up Twyla's different dinner parties. But that night, there was only the seven of them. Lisa adored Jasmine, especially her voice. Lisa was beginning to become a groupie of Soul Cool, always showing up unannounced at gigs with or without Twyla. After their dinner of steamed lobs- After their dinner of steamed lobsters and wild rice with fresh salad and free-flowing white wine, Lisa begged Jasmine for a song. There was a finely tuned Steinway in the living room that usually served as a great stand for vases of fresh flowers and framed pictures of Twyla from childhood on up. And yeah, she was even beautiful then. Jan could play piano very well, as he had displayed several times previously, but Joni always hated it when he played for anyone other than him. Come on, Yasmin, do this. Sing for us, bitte. Lisa was persistent. Jasmine had heard it from Twyla that Joni had released a music video and a two-song CD the previous year that Jan had financed 50,000 marks worth, and it bombed. Jasmine had never heard Joni sing. I'll sing if someone else will go up first. Twyla, Jasmine said while looking at a smiling Joni whose smile dropped. She rolled her eyes. Jan graciously played Summertime, and Twyla sang it in that sweet Josephine Bakerish reed like voice she had, which Jasmine always enjoyed. Brava! Lisa yelled as everyone clapped for Twyla at the conclusion of her song. Okay, come on now. I know we have some more singers in the house. Jasmine teased, this time deliberately avoiding any eye contact with Joni. I'm singing next, Joni said matter of factly, and stood up from the semi-yoga position she was in on the floor. She switched over to the piano and stood, cocking his head to one side and straightening his spine. Play, ooh, what do I want to play? Oh, what's the song? Oh, that song. Oh, I can't think. I'm so nervous. Joni looked at the other six faces around the room and then turned to Juan. Play The Greatest Love of All. Juan played it beautifully, and Joni sang it awfully. Joni opting to sing with his eyes closed so he didn't see the way Lisa made a face, or the way Sasha urged Jasmine to get up and sing. Lisa yelled after Joni's unsuccessful attempt at the song's modulation near the end. Just shut up, Joni. You kill my ears. God damn it. Everyone burst out laughing. Joni opened his eyes and looked at everyone, laughing uncontrollably, and ran from the room in tears, with Juan at his heels. Lisa later told Twyla, who told Jasmine, that Juan called Lisa and said that he and Joni wouldn't be able to attend any more dinner parties at Twyla's as long as certain people were there. Twyla said that Lisa told her when John was certain people, she could hear Joni screaming from somewhere in another room. Yasmin! Tell her, Jan! It's Yasmin! She and Twyla had a good laugh at that one. Twyla thanked Yasmin for everything she was supposed to have done. It turned out that Juan and Joni were only invited in the first place because Lisa and Juan grew up together and were buddies. And when Twyla announced that she was having another of her lavish dinner parties, Lisa would always call Juan. Twyla said she never had the heart to mention it to Lisa, that she would rather Joni not attend. He always had a way of trying to make the straight men at the party feel uncomfortable because he was such a flirt. Twyla was sweet like that, but a naive type of sweet, which could be deadly for a beautiful woman.